What's going on, everyone? Lamar Jackson, he's an incredibly gifted football player, an incredibly talented quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, but there is a lot of concerns about what is going on with his contract extension, right? We're seeing all these quarterbacks get these massive deals, all this money guaranteed, and Lamar Jackson is still not secured with the Baltimore Ravens. And the concern from the Ravens standpoint is, look, dude, you're a running quarterback that doesn't have the best accuracy, that can't throw the long ball very well, prefers to run over making the pass, and you have a high risk of injury. So why would we guarantee you, $250 million, right? It's just, how successful are we going to be? You're not having great playoff success. You have more turnovers and interceptions than you do touchdowns in the playoffs, and you just got a major injury because you run the ball. There's a lot of risk for the Baltimore Ravens standpoint. And Lamar Jackson is making an absolute terrible mistake. One, he's representing himself in these contract negotiations, which is never a good sign when a professional athlete is not having representation going on his behalf for these negotiations. That's what those guys get paid to do, to make sure deals get done. Top of that, it's just him and his mother that are trying to do these negotiations, and it's not going well. I mean, he's been smart holding out, but at some point you're going to have to cave, you're going to have to break. And now Lamar Jackson has given a hard deadline of this Friday. If a deal isn't done this Friday, he's going to go into the season without a contract. He's going to go into the season, he's going to make like 22 million, 25 million, something like that this season. He's going to just ride this season with that, and he doesn't want to have contract negotiations until the season's over because he wants to win. He doesn't want the distraction, this, that, and the other. Completely understand that. But here's the problem. He is a running quarterback that is extremely high risk at getting an injury, and you want to not secure whatever they're willing to give you. It's not that they don't want to give him the money. It's that they don't want to give him all that money guaranteed, which is what he wants. And even Russell Wilson, he got a huge contract, but he didn't have the whole thing guaranteed. He had like 150 million guaranteed, something like that. So if you could work something like that out, okay, fine, maybe. But the idea of Lamar Jackson going into this season without a contract might end up being disastrous for him. Because if he gets hurt, that's it. Like, what happens, even if it's not like a career ending or just like a super serious major injury, even if he just misses another season, who's going to pay you the max money when 2 seasons in a row you've gotten injured and you're a high-risk quarterback when it comes to injuries? Lamar Jackson not negotiating and settling, assuming it doesn't happen. He gave it till Friday. We still got a couple days. But why would Baltimore cave at this point? So unless Lamar caves, which he's being stubborn in these contract negotiations, then if Baltimore doesn't cave and just says, okay, dude, like we'll just pay you for this season and then we'll talk again in the offseason, that's a terrible idea for Lamar Jackson. Because at that point, if he ends up getting hurt again, who's going to give him that money? Who's going to pay him $250 million? Especially, heaven forbid, knock on wood, please, because he's an incredible talent and I love his game. I don't think it's a game that is built for major success. And look, I know somebody's going to say, well, he wins in the regular. I don't care about the regular season. You could go undefeated every single year. But what have you done in the playoffs? Is the goal for football teams, is the goal to go 16-0, 17-0? Or is it to win a championship, win a Super Bowl? Like, what is it? Because I feel like a lot of fans, like when I have these conversations, a lot of people try to say, well, he wins and he does this, that, and the other. That's great, but what has he done in the playoffs? Nothing. He's been terrible in the playoffs. He has more interceptions than he does touchdowns in the playoffs. And he's a high-risk quarterback. I don't care about what your regular season stats are. I don't care about how many games you win in the regular season. He's been super turnover prone. He's high risk with injury. He's not a quarterback that is typically a proven commodity, because he's not a great pocket passer. He's more of an on the run, and he even prefers to run. He's even said that himself. He feels most comfortable on the run, and he doesn't have a contract after this season. And so he's going to go into this season, and if he gets hurt, that's it, man. He's taking a huge gamble and a huge risk and could potentially be throwing his career away. Knock on wood again. Like I said, I don't want to put that energy out there, but the reality is the reality. And this is a terrible idea. He's playing the game of football. He's not playing, tennis or something like that. He has grown men, 380 pounds, charging at him full speed, and he's not a pocket quarterback. It's not like he's going to sit in the pocket and be protected most of the game, and they can cut. No, he's a guy that, I'm going to go run, and he takes some hard, heavy hits. And all it takes is one of those hits to take him out of the game again or have him miss the season. Again, let's say it's not a career ending. Let's say it's not some huge major injury that, he misses a couple years. But if he gets injured again, which team is looking at Lamar Jackson going, you know what? Last 2 years, he's taken some major injury and missed most of the season, or if not all of the season. I'm going to go give him and guarantee him $250 million. Or I'm going to go guarantee him even $100 million. It makes no sense. Look, there is a team out there. Look at what the Browns did with Deshaun Watson. There is some team out there that even if Lamar Jackson does get hurt and he does miss the season, again, not saying a career ending or anything like that, just like say he gets the same injury he had last season, he misses the season, right? There is some team that is dumb enough, just like the Cleveland Browns, that are going to pay him his money just for, jersey sales and to put butts in the seats and stuff like that. But in reality, he's not going to get the $250 million. He's probably not even going to get $100 million guaranteed. Some team might give him $250 million, but not guaranteed, or they'll guarantee like $50 million of it or something like that. And if you're the Ravens, like you have no loss here. Nothing happens. Either A, he plays great, he proves he can do it, and then you finally cave in the offseason, or the alternative happens, and now you go to him and be like, look. Now you're not getting the money anywhere. So why not, instead of $50 million like other teams will give you, we'll give you $75 million guaranteed, and you can ride this. This is a terrible, terrible decision by Lamar Jackson if this really ends up being the case. If Lamar Jackson goes into this season and he doesn't have a guaranteed contract, I don't know why you would take that risk. And look, Lamar Jackson's not the guy to sit out, but for a guy like Lamar Jackson, that would be in his best interest. For a guy like Lamar Jackson, his best interest is like, I don't have a contract, I'm not going to play. He's not going to do that. He's already said he hasn't done that. He's shown he's not going to do that. He wants to go into the season, and he wants to try to win a Super Bowl this season. But dude, like, you're a high-risk quarterback when it comes to injury because you're on-the-run quarterback. That's your style. That's your play. And it's not like he's going to be able to control that. That is his game. That is his instinct. His instinct is, I need to get out of here and use my legs to get some yardage. He's not going to be able to suppress that and control that. He's just going to take off running, and it just takes one hit, and you could kiss all that money goodbye. He needs to get representation. I get it. You're going to have to pay, probably $20 million or whatever it is to your agent. I get that. But hey, there's a reason why stars and athletes and celebrities and this, that, and the other, why they all hire agents. Because agents, yes, you got to pay them, but they get you the money. They handle the thing. They know what it takes. They know how to work it out. They sit there and they're on the phone 24/7 arguing for you and presenting the case, this, that, the other. They're going to get you your money. But it hasn't worked for you. You've been trying to do it by yourself, and it hasn't worked. The Baltimore Ravens aren't caving. Hopefully they do between now and Friday. But if they don't, it's just, why? Why are you going to go into this season and do that? That is an absolute just disaster waiting to happen. And the reason I'm even mentioning this and talking about this in the video and feeling the way that I'm feeling about this whole situation is because we've seen this kind of stuff happen before. We've seen this movie play out. We've seen how this stuff works. And it's just, I just don't want to see that happen to this kid. Like, he's too talented, too gifted, too incredible of a talent. Now, look, maybe he has an amazing season. Maybe he goes out, all is right in the world. I get it. He's betting on himself. But you probably would get that $250 million contract regardless. The only difference is you're not gonna get the whole thing guaranteed. But why would you risk, let's say even $10 million guaranteed? Like, why would you risk $10 million on just because you want to hold firm on your contract? It makes no logical sense to me. And I just feel like this is a kid that's, in an ocean with a bunch of sharks, and he's not a shark himself. As far as when it comes to the finance and business side and like what the agents do, he needs to go get himself a shark to handle this for him, because this is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. And I really hope it doesn't. I really hope he has a beautiful season. I hope he has a season that is absolutely incredible. He goes in the offseason next year, and they say, here you go, here's your $250 million guaranteed. I hope that happens, or I hope that happens before the season even begins. But it's just such a risk for what? For what? To be stubborn, to hold firm on your contract. Like, go hire an agent, dude. Go get an agent to negotiate for you and get you your guaranteed money. Like, if you have a hard date Friday, hire an agent right this second and have him go in there and get that deal done by Friday. Like, whatever you can get guaranteed, because you're running the risk of leaving like generational money on the table. The Ravens, they're not going to give him $250 million guaranteed because of all the risks, but they might give him $100 million guaranteed, or like a Russell Wilson deal, which was what, like $158 million, something like that. Like, why would you risk that money? Why would you leave that on the table when the alternative is no contract? It makes no sense to me. It makes no logical sense for Lamar Jackson to do this. And for the Ravens, you have nothing to lose. If he plays great. As messed up as it sounds, it's a business. At the end of the day, it is a business. And their job is let's see what happens. Go ahead, play the season. If you get hurt, hey man, hate to break it to you, it's a tough world. Sucks. Sorry. And you're not getting $250 million. We'll give you $100 million, and we'll give you like 50 of it guaranteed. He just runs a huge risk. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why he would do this. But as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think, maybe I'm overreacting? Whatever. I just see a kid that is a high-risk player when it comes to injury, and he has no representation, trying to negotiate for himself, and is willing to go into the season without a contract. That is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. And I pray it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because I don't want to have that conversation here on this channel, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. I don't want to have that. I hope it's like, man, good, he got the guarantee, he got this, he won a Super Bowl, whatever. I just think he is setting himself up for a major disaster. Again, we've seen this story, we've seen this movie before, and I really hope the ending turns out different. But anyway, again, let me know your thoughts and opinions. However, that being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.